Hi, everybody. Good morning. Happy Monday to everybody. Hope you had a fantastic weekend. And we kick off the week with a little fog this morning, tracking some more heat and humidity, tracking a few isolated thunderstorms possible today. And the same pattern really sets up where some areas get pretty heavy rainfall. Other areas miss out. If you were at my house yesterday, it picked up over 2 inches of rain with a downpour thunderstorm. And it has some pretty gusty winds. I live in northwest Huntsville. Some areas got socked with some heavy rain yesterday. Other areas didn't have a drop of rain the entire weekend, and that's how summertime convection works. Speaking of convection and a little thunderstorm or a shower trying to pop, you can see it there on the radar. I'll pull it up so you can actually see it a little bit easier. We talked about a chance for a few storms today. Even though we may have some initial development for areas east and Lookout Mountain and into portions of Sand Mountain where you see a little shower trying to develop near Fort Payne right now. I think this will develop here and probably persist for another hour or two, but the higher chance of some storms today will be for our northwestern locations in western Lauderdale County, northwestern Colbert County, and that will be more like after 3, 4 o'clock. So even though we might have a little tease of some showers and storms for areas east here through the morning and early afternoon, the higher chance of rain will be northwest Alabama later today. It doesn't look like it will be severe weather, but some heavy rain, some gusty winds, and some frequent lightning is expected. If you had some of those storms yesterday, it's exactly what could happen again today. I had some wind gusts at my house yesterday, about 40 miles an hour with that heavy rainfall. The rain coming down so heavy at times at my house that my road actually turned into a river and things were floating down. All the garbage that was in the road floating down. And yeah, it was coming down heavy, and that's what these storms do. There's a lot of humidity right now, and anytime you have that much humidity, you're going to have a situation where anything that pops is going to be a big downpour. Overall, big picture, though, is that today, tomorrow, and then into Wednesday, the chances of daily showers, the coverage probably not nearly as much as it will be for Thursday and Friday when we have more locations have an opportunity to have rainfall. And unfortunately, that pattern will continue for Saturday and Sunday. Some of that influenced by what could be a tropical system on the Gulf, and I'll show you that graphic in just a moment. But very summer-like pattern continues across the area. The temperatures in the morning, they just take off. Once you burn off any fog, it is game on. Temperature's already 86 in the Shoals, and it is not even 11 a.m. yet. 85 degrees in Fort Payne. And everybody now already in the 80s, including Haleyville at 80. So very humid conditions, those dew points. Whenever the dew point temperature, it's the best way. Like if you look at an app, like a weather app, and you see relative humidity, don't go by that. That means nothing. Always try to find an app that shows you the dew point. It's most important when it comes to gauging the humidity. Anything over 70 is oppressive. Anything over 75 is ridiculously gross. And it's beyond icky sticky at that point because it can take a feel like temperature in the 80s and make it feel like mid 90s, right? So dew points right now, 70 to 75. See a 77 on there. That is very soupy, very summer-like humid air. And that's going to be around all week long. That's not changing. We're going to stay very humid, not just today, but into the rest of the week as well. So there's your feels like temperature. Again, not even 11 o'clock in the morning, and it already feels like 95 degrees in the Shoals and Florence. Feels like 92 in Fort Payne. And I imagine everybody will feel like 100 plus today, probably 100 to 105. Not excessive heat. Like sometimes in the summer, we can have one of those days where, you know, it feels like 110 or 112. We're not there, but we're just consistently 100 to 105 every single day. And we really haven't had a break this month from that. It's just continues to be a very persistent summer humid pattern with these daily showers and thunderstorms. I feel like every day I work, I'm tracking something on the radar, whether it's your location or somebody else's location. There's some kind of rain to track every day. And we'll do that again today in the afternoon. And some of that rainfall will be heavy at times. Again, the initial burst of some showers and storms may fire up east along the Georgia-Alabama line here from now until about 1 or 2, and then shift our attention to the west as we go into 3, 4, 5 o'clock. If you're in the middle, might not have much in the rainfall today, tomorrow, or Wednesday, but you will have the heat and humidity. Hi, Dio from PC. I see you on. Good to see you. And Adam's checking in from Fort Payne. Speaking of Fort Payne, a little shower near you right now. Adam, I know you always like to get those showers, so hopefully one of those will hit you at your location with some rain. Melody says more rain. Yep, there's more rain in the forecast. Again, Melody, very isolated activity today, tomorrow, and Wednesday. I'm not sure of your exact location. Location means everything, just like in real estate. When it comes to the rainfall the next 3 days, it'll be extremely isolated. But your higher chance of rain will come Thursday, Friday, and then into the weekend as well. There'll be more coverage. More people will have the opportunity for rainfall as we go to the end of the weekend. Bad timing for the Trash Pandas because they will be home starting on Friday. And I'm very excited about this because it's Tennessee Titans football night on Friday night. And I have tickets, and I'm hoping it doesn't rain. It won't rain tonight, but there'll be some patchy fog, mostly clear and muggy, low to mid 70s. And here's the tropics, and we'll talk about this for a moment. That area in yellow, so where the X is actually where the low pressure is that the National Hurricane Center is monitoring for development. And a lot of times we get all caught up on whether or not this thing's going to get a name or not. If it does get named, it would be Dexter. That's the next name in line. We've had Andrea, Barry, and Chantal, and this would be Dexter. But I want to emphasize, if it gets named or doesn't get named, it doesn't matter how it's going to impact areas along the Gulf. And many of you have told me that you're trying to plan a vacation. You're going this week or into the weekend down to the shores, or you're going to Panama City. No matter what happens with this system, whether it gets named or not, this is going to bring a lot of rain to Florida, the Panhandle, and the Gulf Coast states right along the immediate coast for the next 6 days. So there'll be some kind of impact, maybe not if it's named, or it doesn't matter if it becomes a tropical storm or not. It's just got a lot of rainfall with it. So beachgoers headed down to many of the wonderful beaches in Alabama as we go into the end of the week and weekend will probably be a bit disappointed because there's probably going to be days where it just showers and thunderstorms almost all day long. Some of that rainfall is going to be heavy at times too. So the tropics may not have a named system, but it's still going to have an impact, especially for those of you who have beach plans in the next week or two. Let me go ahead and pull up the 10 days so you can see it a little bit closer. Adam says, hopefully we'll get that shower moving in and it doesn't fade away. Yeah, that shower popped pretty quick, and you got a chance for a little rain, Adam, anyway. That's good stuff. Kaylee says, good morning. It's good to see you, Kaylee. I hope all is going well. Tamara's on. Good morning to you, Tamara. Always a pleasure. A little pool time for you today, Tamara? I hope so. And Sarah's on. That's always good to see Sarah. Tamara says, it sure is a pretty day. It is. It's summer. It's humid. It's hot. It's supposed to be that way. And for summer standards, kind of the way it should be, right? It is a pretty day. Speaking of pretty, did anybody see the rainbow pictures that were circulating across social media? It was awesome. So obviously, I told you it poured at my house, and there was this big line of showers and storms that raced across Madison County. As it went east, the sun came out right after it ended, and there was tons of rainbow pictures. Lillian, who I talk to on Facebook all the time, she sent me one from her house. And it was like this really, really vibrant rainbow. Like the colors really, it was almost like it was like it almost looked fake, but it wasn't fake. It wasn't a fake picture, but it was really cool. We had a rainbow a couple weeks ago at our station here. It was really nice. But anyway, you have to have some rain to have a rainbow, and so therefore it verifies that the rain did come down at some locations yesterday. But the rainbow was awesome. It was really cool. All right, pull the 10 back up for you. Sarah says, my daughter Hope says hi too. Hello, Hope. Good to see you. And Daniel's on, which is very good. Daniel's a big weather guy. I love that. And Sarah says, thank you. Kaylee says, will I see storms today again? Kaylee, you got a chance. But I think for your location, since I stalk you, I know where you live. I think a really low chance for you today and tomorrow. Wednesday for you and where you live, since you live more east, you have a little higher chance than maybe in Huntsville on Wednesday. And then everybody will get into a chance of rainfall, especially by Friday and then into the weekend. It looks like could be some really heavy rain. And if you're one of those locations that hits on this rainfall almost every single day, especially Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the rain totals could add up very quickly. Put this in perspective of how localized rainfall can be in the summertime. I have a weather observation gauge that I have rain, temperature. I keep track of everything at my house. I'm a nerd. And I have had at my house in Northwest Huntsville in July 4.1 inches of rainfall after the gully washer I had at the house yesterday, right? The airport has had I think 0.4. So Huntsville, where the airport's south, I'm northwest Huntsville. Same Huntsville, right? Huntsville's big. I know, I get it. But I've had over 4 inches of rain at my house, and the airport has had 0.4. Like, think about how different that is. The Shoals at the airport, Northwest Alabama Regional Airport, has had over 6 inches of rain this month. So there are areas that are getting like I'm done with the rain. Like I told everybody who was saying to me yesterday when I was talking about the rainfall on my Facebook page, I said, bring buckets to my house in the afternoon, put your buckets out, and then you could take your buckets back home and you'd have enough water to probably water your gardens and you'd be good to go. Because I can't stop getting rainfall. Like, I don't know, I feel like every time something pops in the afternoon, it's coming directly to Jeff's house. And I was trying to be outside in the patio and I'm watching these storms fire up yesterday and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go inside. I'm working on building a cover so I can stay out there in the rainfall. But until then, I have to pack it in. And that's what I had to do yesterday. And of course, we had some thunder, so that was not a good thing for Rubble. He was all stressed out. And the thunder was really loud too. Like it was the kind of thunder that rattles your house thunder. It was crazy, crazy. So Kaylee says the weather changed so fast yesterday, it was crazy. It did. And Kaylee, that's a great point to bring up, is when we talk about these storms that fire up in the afternoon, that's a great segue because they literally, I refer to it on air as like if you're popping popcorn, like the kernels just go all crazy, right? Think of that with these thunderstorms. They just start popping. And it's like a domino effect because once one pops, they get these strong outflow boundaries from them, right? And it's a rush of air down to the ground. That acts like almost like a frontal boundary as it hits the surface. It can cool your temperature down, but it can also ignite other showers and thunderstorms around it. So it's like a domino. Once you get one, they start firing up all around it. And I could actually see this. I saw the boundary yesterday moving south of Huntsville. I see these storms firing up, and I'm just like, oh, it's going to fire up right over the house. And then all of a sudden, boom, and it got one little pop of thunder and lightning with a downpour, and then right behind it, that whole line just ignited, and then it just slowly moved across my town where I live, my house, and it just poured for like an hour straight. I mean, so bad that literally things were floating in the water. And if you go down the road I live on, I'm not gonna give the road I live on, there's actually like sticks and garbage and everything all in the middle of the road because the water had carried it all over the place. It was crazy. Just goes to show you, all you got, once you trigger one, it's like game on. You trigger a whole bunch. So there's your 10-day, a lot of 90s on there, lots of thunderstorms. I'm going to take you all the way back through the graphics. I'm going to go all the way back to the radar to see what that little shower is doing in Fort Payne for Adam because he wants that shower to hit. But I'll zoom in. You can see it a little bit better. So a little lightning now with it too. So Adam, I'm not sure where in Fort Payne you live, but if you're on the northwest side of town or even southeast side of town, looks like some rain. Probably could have a few rumbles of thunder now, a couple lightning strikes showing up on that one little cell there as it gets ready to cross over to Georgia. Very slow moving too. Not in a big hurry to get to Georgia. Sarah says, we had lots of rain yesterday, but I'm so thankful it didn't rain on Saturday because we cleaned out our garage getting ready for a storm shelter to be put in. Sarah, that is one great way to increase the value of your home is to put a storm shelter in. And yes, and I know where Sarah lives, and she's not too far from where I live. And Eric is in that vicinity as well, and he was talking about how he had a heavy rainfall at his house. And too, the winds were really strong too. There was a special weather statement on that storm yesterday, about 40, 45 mile an hour winds at my house. And that's what happens with these storms. Generally, they won't get severe warned. Very rarely they do. But they'll still have gusty winds up to 40, 45 and the heavy rainfall, and it could still cause some damage too. Certainly if you have like patio furniture in your backyard on the patio, it can definitely do damage to that. So, hi Kirsten, good to see you. Good morning. Fantastic to see you on. Everybody in for weather extra. I haven't done that as much as I used to do. I need to do it more. People got a kick out of that. I went to Costco one time. I was shopping and somebody went up to me and they were like, weather extra. I was like, oh, you watch. Thank you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate that. So, hang on a second. Caught up on comments. So this again, initial shower, a little popping near Fort Payne and out towards DeKalb County and probably eastern Jackson County, probably if you're east of 72, maybe up towards like Ider, Higdon, could get a little shower storm here in the next hour or two. And then we turn our attention to western zones for some storms in like western Lauderdale County and northwest Colbert County. And I think if you're in the middle, between the edges, so to speak, Probably a real low-end chance of rain today, and just going to be dealing with the heat and the humidity. And that looks like the same setup for tomorrow, too. What changes on Wednesday is part of that tropical system down by Florida. There's a little trough that will develop, and what it'll do, it may tug a few of the showers and storms a bit north, and therefore areas like east would have a higher chance Wednesday, and then eventually that all moves across the Tennessee Valley into Thursday and Friday. The boundary sets up pretty much right over us, and that's why we get into a higher chance of rain for the end of the week and weekend. But when you look at the 10-day forecast face value, and you see all the percents, you think, oh, it's going to rain every single day. But there are certain areas that have a higher chance of rain each day, and trying to break that down and to everybody, sit there, literally break down every single day, which I just did for you. But that's why it's such a generic 10-day forecast. It doesn't really show you what areas may have a higher chance or a lower chance. It just has a general percent, right? That's why you come to Weather Extra, so you can hear that stuff. Sarah says, we had some winds, but it wasn't too bad. Yeah, I had a couple pretty strong gusts. I would say about 40, 45. It was enough to take the rain. It was blowing it sideways, and I could see it off my neighbor's roof. It was just kind of kicking off with the wind. It helped clean my gutters out, though. It was great. Something I needed to do, so that was nice. Kaylee, my student ID came today, and my books are on the way. Good for you. Kaylee's going to go to school and become a meteorologist. Isn't that awesome? It's very cool. Sarah says, we have a trampoline in our backyard. Oh, with a state bird. You never want that to get blown away. Those trampolines, they just fly with the wind. You gotta be careful with those. Kaylee says, so be prepared for all the study questions. Hey, you can fire all those questions off at me. The same courses that you're going to be taking, or the courses that I took. But I noticed on your breakdown, though, you had a lot of a lot of geography classes when you showed me your class schedule. And when you get into the more of the meteorology stuff, it will be even better. So the basic geography stuff and everything, it's fun, it's cool, but not as fun as the weather classes are. They're really cool. Hi Brenda, I see you, and I just clicked off of you. I didn't mean to do that. Good morning. Good Monday morning. I have a super week. Brenda, you have a super week too. Can't believe it's middle of July already, right? Where are we? We're at halfway through the month of July. I feel like June and July was so fast. We're going to start talking about back to school stuff going on. It's almost that time, right? School starts up soon. Hard to believe. I mean, turn the calendar to August pretty soon, 2 weeks from now. Sandra says Stevenson's been getting a lot. Yeah, yep, Stevenson. A lot of rain, especially in June, a lot of rain too. But yeah, I mean, there are some areas. It's funny too, because I have to I talk to a lot of you on Facebook, and I try to answer everybody back as much as I can. And I have to it's like Jekyll and Hyde. I have some people telling me, oh my gosh, stop the rain. It's just ridiculous. I get it every day. And I have other people I don't get any rain. It never rains at my house. And so I have to take on a different persona every time I answer somebody back. And I have to feel their pain. I'm so sorry that you haven't had any rain, but eventually you'll get some. And then the people who have had rain, I'm like, oh my gosh, I know we need it to stop, right? It's been just too much. Hopefully we'll get that changed soon. And I have to answer everybody back specifically, because it's a bag of mixed emotions, how people feel about the rainfall thus far in this month, especially where the numbers are so jaded across the area, with some areas just soaked and other areas not that much. But Sarah, are there any storms coming our way this afternoon? Says Daniel. Daniel's I think the Huntsville metro area where we live probably gets a break today. I say that very loosely, because the last couple weeks, it seems like some of the forecast models will have going on in the morning, you get this random popping going on, and all of a sudden one triggers another one, and then you're it's in an area you didn't think it was going to happen. But I think it's east early and then west later, and that's the way it plays out. So I call it the traffic triangle: Athens, Decatur to Huntsville. That area may get spared a bit today, but anytime you have these outflow boundary storms, I mean, they can just bounce off of each other, and they can just trigger one after another, and all of a sudden that line's going all the way to Athens, and you're like, no, I didn't forecast that. What are you doing? Stuff like that. So
that's exactly what Graf had this morning.
That's exactly. Eric Burke is in the house, everybody. Yes. So, yes. So it was funny, because we have an in-house model called the Graf, and we just got done talking to him a little while ago. I said, the Graf is popping a few showers and storms east at first, and then I came out to the radar. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I saw you going through it. All of a sudden, everything just started advancing advancing very quickly.
And there's that shower. So the graph was right. The graph was on it. So I told everybody that this will probably initially start here, but then we turn our attention west later today is what I'm thinking, after like 3, 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Hopefully everyone gets the rain if you want it.
Yeah, if you want the rain, we hope you get it. And I know Jeff Desnoyers doesn't want the rain at my house in Northwest Huntsville, so I'm going to steer it all around me, and we're good to go.
After your Sunday deluge.
Yeah, exactly. That was crazy yesterday. But yeah, Eric and I have a plan to play a little pickleball. We think maybe outdoors on Wednesday, so we're going to steer all the storms away from the pickleball court so we can play pickleball.
Or we play in the rain.
Or we play in the rain. As long as it's not lightning. We tell everybody not to be outside the lightning.
Practice what we preach.
And then we'll be out there hitting pickleball back and forth. Oh, can I tell everybody about the graphic real quick? That we may, I don't want to ruin your thunder on
Oh,
this.
no, I didn't show it today.
Okay.
Pull it out at noon. Well, it is a morning.
It's a morning thing.
Graphic.
Yeah.
You can make your own version for the afternoon.
No. We're gonna. You get to show it first. So, and for those of you who don't know, and many of you have contacted me because you found out that we have like a little pickleball club here at the station. Eric got me started into it. I feel good going out there and getting some exercise, and I love being part of it. A little competitive, yeah, but that's what it's all about: getting some exercise and sweating. But Eric made a pickleball court forecast, and his graphic is awesome. Like, I can't wait to use it in the mornings. But I don't want to steal his thunder, excuse the pun, because he gets to use it tomorrow morning. Maybe.
I will use it tomorrow morning.
No pressure.
No pressure.
But pickleball's big. Everybody's into it, no matter what your age is. Pickleball is a fun sport to be outside. It's like tennis condensed / ping pong. And it's just a really good time. It's a great way to get outside. Now, we might try to play outside Wednesday, and it's going to be probably the hottest and most humid day of the week, which is going to be kind of gross. But we'll still get out there. It just helps us shed a few more pounds if we're going to be sweating.
Love you get.
No, these are awesome. Like, weather extra. It's good times. Caitlin, what way is the storm drifting into Cab? It's drifting off to the northeast. I'll pull it up so you can see it a little bit. See where it's going? It kind of popped and then just kind of drifting to the east. And it's moving towards Georgia. So that storm, if you're west of Fort Payne, it's not coming your way. I don't know exactly your location though, Caitlin. Hi, Mike Gentle. Good late morning to you, my friend. I'm still going to take you up possibly on that pool offer, my friend. Don't think I'm not going to do that, okay? Like, I'll have my people call your people and we'll talk, all right? I see Ryan's in the house behind me, which tells me that I need to wrap this up pretty quick. But I'm having fun with you all, so hang on a second here. Hi, Roberta. Good to see you. Hi, Allison. Good to see you on. And Sandra, never say let the rain stop. Be our luck when we get a drought. No, I'm good, actually, Sandra. I'm okay with saying the rain. I'm done with the rain at my house. Nothing's getting crunchy at my house anytime soon. But yes, you are very right. Sometimes we get to July and August and we can be all wanting to get some rainfall, right? Last year we were in a drought at this time for many locations, and the drought only got worse in August and September and then carried right into the fall. But Sandra brings up a good point. Be careful what you wish for, me included. I don't want the rain at my house anymore, but I could be come Labor Day and my garden turns to nothing because I haven't had any rain and I need to be out there every day watering stuff. But that's a good point, is even though there's a surplus of rain for parts of the area in the Tennessee Valley so far since May 1st, it can very easily turn off quickly. So that's a good point to bring up. All right, I got to go. Hi, Tegan. Good to see you. Caitlin says, okay, I'm in Flat Rock, so just wondering. Yeah, not lifting north to Flat Rock. Nope, you're good. You're okay. All right. I feel like I'm like when you win an Oscar or something and they start the music really quick. So I feel like I got to go. All right, TVL starts in 5 minutes. Come check it out. There's a gentleman here, and I don't know his name, and he plays music, and he's really, really, really good. And you might want to tune in for that because it's good stuff. And then, of course, Gina Benitez will be on noon. She'll have all the latest updates on, unfortunately, a few car accidents this morning. Also, all the latest news that broke this morning that we'll update you on at noon, and she'll be here. And we'll get another weather update during that time. But everybody have a fantastic day today. If you are going to be out and about, stay hydrated, hot, humid, typical summer stuff, okay? Have a good one.